Definitely. And I suppose one other thing I really found interesting was that whole idea of reframing. You know, looking at a situation and rather than seeing it as a disaster, you think this is an opportunity. And I think that is so important, especially nowadays. Do you want to maybe talk a little bit about that?
Yeah, reframing is a really solid practice actually that's been around in psychology and particularly clinical psychology with cognitive behavioral therapy for many decades now. And we know that there is continually very compelling research to support it. And essentially what we're doing is, this is a little bit different than simply thinking positively. What we're actually doing is we're catching the thought. So we need to be very cognizant of what's actually going on in the landscape of my brain right now. What am I thinking about? And once we can actually start to follow and observe our thoughts, we start to notice, are they helpful, unhelpful? Perhaps they're just neutral thoughts. What type of thoughts are going through my mind at the moment? Particularly if I'm faced with challenge or difficulty, can we catch that thought that might be saying, you're going to fail, this is too difficult, don't try this, all of those sort of negative, unhelpful thoughts. And reframing then is that once we've caught it, we can then check it, you know, actually, is this useful? Is this true? We can start interrogating that thought. I wonder why that thought is there. Perhaps it's a regular pattern. Perhaps that voice is a familiar old friend or old enemy
Yeah,
that
exactly.
keeps
Yeah.
coming back. And we can actually take a bit of lightness. You know, part of self-compassion, for example, is being a little bit light about it. Oh, there you are, old friend again, telling me I can't do something. So we've caught it and we've checked it. The next step really for us is to change it, is our choice to change it. But we might well look at that thought and we might think, you know, that's pretty unhelpful. There's not much evidence to support that particular thought. Perhaps there's some other way I could look at this. Is there another perspective, another way of looking at this? Could this difficulty perhaps be an opportunity? It might be very well disguised, it might feel very uncomfortable, but could it actually be something that could be positive or at least interesting for me? Maybe it's a learning opportunity, even if it feels really uncomfortable, perhaps, and actually more so if it feels uncomfortable because we're having to try hard.
Yeah,
So
totally.
that's when we can look at changing it.